Norepinephrine, the brain's signal for alertness, arousal, and readiness. When people hear the word norepinephrine, they often think of stress. They associate it with anxiety. They associate it with panic. And they associate it with the fight or flight response. But norepinephrine is not simply a stress chemical. It is a core system that keeps the brain alert, responsive, and ready to act. Without norepinephrine, you would struggle to stay awake, focus under pressure, or respond quickly to important events. To understand attention, arousal, and resilience, we need to understand norepinephrine. The history of norepinephrine begins in the early 20th century. Scientists studying the sympathetic nervous system noticed that stimulating certain nerves produced effects similar to adrenaline. This led to the discovery of norepinephrine as a chemical messenger used by both the brain and the body. In the 1940s and 1950s, researchers established that norepinephrine functions as a neurotransmitter in the brain and as a hormone in the peripheral nervous system. Unlike dopamine, which was once thought to be unimportant, norepinephrine was recognized early as a powerful regulator of physiological arousal. One of the most important breakthroughs in understanding norepinephrine came from research on a small structure in the brainstem called the locus coeruleus. The locus coeruleus is the primary source of norepinephrine in the brain. Despite its small size, it sends projections throughout the cortex, hippocampus, thalamus, and spinal cord. This wide influence allows norepinephrine to rapidly change the state of the entire brain. When the locus coeruleus fires, the brain shifts into a state of heightened alertness. So what does norepinephrine actually do? At its core, norepinephrine regulates arousal, vigilance, and responsiveness. It helps the brain detect important or threatening information and mobilize resources to deal with it. Norepinephrine increases signal strength in neural circuits. It enhances the processing of salient information and suppresses background noise. In this way, norepinephrine acts as a gain control system. It turns up the volume on what matters. Norepinephrine plays a crucial role in attention. Moderate levels of norepinephrine improve focus, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. This is why a certain level of alertness improves performance. However, too much norepinephrine impairs thinking. Excessive arousal narrows attention, disrupts working memory, and promotes rigid, habitual responses. This relationship is often described by the inverted U-shaped curve of arousal and performance. Optimal cognition occurs at moderate levels of norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is deeply involved in the stress response. When the brain detects threat or challenge, norepinephrine is released rapidly. This increases heart rate, blood pressure, and readiness for action. In the brain, it shifts processing away from slow, reflective thinking and toward fast, survival-oriented responses. This is helpful in emergencies, but when stress is chronic, sustained norepinephrine activity can impair cognition and emotional regulation. Norepinephrine also plays a role in learning and memory. Emotionally significant events trigger norepinephrine release, which strengthens memory formation. This is why memories formed during stressful or exciting moments are often vivid and long-lasting. Norepinephrine helps tag important experiences so they are remembered. However, extreme stress can impair memory encoding, showing again that balance is essential. Norepinephrine is also involved in sleep and wakefulness. High norepinephrine activity is associated with wakefulness and alertness. During deep sleep and REM sleep, norepinephrine activity drops sharply. This reduction helps the brain disengage from the external environment. Disruptions to norepinephrine regulation can lead to sleep problems and fatigue. Here are 5 everyday examples of norepinephrine at work. First, when you suddenly hear a loud noise, norepinephrine helps snap your attention to it immediately. Second, when you feel mentally sharp under mild pressure, norepinephrine is enhancing focus and alertness. Third, when stress makes your thinking feel scattered or rigid, excessive norepinephrine is interfering with cognition. Fourth, when emotionally intense moments are remembered vividly, norepinephrine helped strengthen those memories. Fifth, when caffeine makes you feel more awake, it indirectly increases norepinephrine activity. There are several important facts about norepinephrine that are often overlooked. Norepinephrine acts as both a neurotransmitter and a hormone. It is closely related to adrenaline, but serves distinct functions in the brain. It works in tight coordination with dopamine and acetylcholine. Many medications for attention disorders and depression target norepinephrine systems. Dysregulation of norepinephrine is linked to anxiety, depression, PTSD, and ADHD. So what is the big picture? Norepinephrine is not just a stress signal. It is the brain's alertness and readiness system. It tunes attention, enhances responsiveness, and helps the brain adapt to challenge. If dopamine provides motivation, acetylcholine provides clarity, and glutamate provides information. Norepinephrine provides urgency. It prepares the brain and body to respond when something matters. Understanding norepinephrine helps explain attention, stress, performance, and why balance is critical for optimal cognition.
If you enjoyed our channel, please click subscribe.